everybody. I hope you're having a fabulous day. So today I have kind of a crazy haul for you guys. I recently purchased a lot of Victorian Edwardian period style jewelry from Shop Goodwill. And if you've ever purchased a lot from Shop Goodwill, you know that they don't itemize what is going to be in these larger lots. They just throw up a picture, photograph a few of the items, and then set it up to auction. So there was no guarantees as to what any of the metal content was in here or the age of any of these items, condition. All you had was the photos to go off of. And this lot did bid up, so I paid up quite a bit for this lot. I ended up paying over $400 for this lot, and that is a lot of money, definitely. But there were a few pieces in the photos that I thought made it worth it. And then I also just thought it would be fun to learn and go through the other pieces that I didn't really recognize and hope that we would find some treasure. So what I have for you here, I have 3 different trays. So I opened up the bags and all I did was sort out the pieces. So on this tray we have brooches and pins. This is bracelets and there's a few rings. And then on this tray over here, we have necklaces as well as a few miscellaneous other items and a few earrings as well. So I thought we would go through these items tray by tray. Let's see if this lot was worth it. Is it something that I could make my money back if I was going to sell these items? Most of them I plan to keep. I am a collector of vintage and antique jewelry, so that's the reason I purchased this, was really for my own collection, but there may be some pieces that I end up selling in the future. Who knows? So I'm really excited about the pieces in this lot. And for anybody new to my channel, I'm a jewelry lover. I collect all different types and eras of jewelry, but I've recently been learning more about antique and vintage pieces. So if you guys have information for me as we're going through the lot, feel free to leave me a comment. I really appreciate all the helpful information, and you guys are so knowledgeable. So yeah, if there's something you recognize and have more information about, please leave it down in the comments and teach us all something new. And one of the items that I recognized in the photos was actually this bracelet here. So I've seen this bracelet before sold online, so I immediately knew what this was. This is Bakelite. So we've got this really adorable equestrian themed carved Bakelite bracelet. We have the boot, the horseshoe, the horse head, which I think is so cool. And then this little piece was just in the lot laying there. And is this a helmet? I think it came off of this bracelet. I believe this is Bakelite as well. So I think this just needs to be added back on. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to take another look at the images of this bracelet that are online, but this bracelet alone I see listed online for between $150 to $200. Some have it listed even higher. So I knew that the value was there for this bracelet to make up for at least, almost half of the purchase price of this lot. So this is one of the items that I did recognize. And yes, it is Bakelite. It's so cool. I really love it. I love the horse head. That's probably my favorite charm on this bracelet. And it's just a gold tone chain. I think it's brass, but really cool, a really collectible piece. And I'm happy to add it to my collection. We're gonna take a look at the brooch and pin tray now. There's some really interesting pieces that I did not even see in the photos. So I'm excited to go through these a little more closely. So now this piece, I'm actually not sure what this is. There's no pin on it to be worn. So maybe this was like, I don't know, it stuck in your hair or something, or maybe a pin part has broken off. But you can see you have this little fly or bee, this little flower bud with a red rhinestone, these beautiful gold leaves on a stem, and he is like a trembler. So interesting. I think this is just a gold tone metal. You can see the solder marks for the leaves there. So I don't know if these leaves had broken off at one point and that is a repair, or if that is how it was made. But I just thought this was so interesting and so beautiful. I'm not quite sure how this was worn or used, but so interesting, adorable. White rhinestone piece. Here's what the back looks like. It definitely has an older, not exactly a tube hinge, but pretty close, and C-clasp. I'm not sure if this is sterling or not. It does almost look it. Definitely would need to test this because it has the look and feel of it And these rhinestones are absolutely gorgeous. So I don't know if these are a crystal or something like that, but really beautiful little branch of gorgeous white stones. That's a beautiful one. This one I absolutely love. This is one I did not see in the photos for this listing at all, but we have this beautiful painted porcelain portrait. We have some white stones on the side, as well as some little floral filigree and this little bow down at the bottom. So beautiful. And I think there was most likely a stone up top here that is missing. And I think they're just rhinestones, but she is so gorgeous. And it looks like there is like a mold or mark number on the back of this porcelain. It says 16. So I'm not sure what manufacturer that would be from. If you know, if you've seen this before, please let me know. Here's what that hinge looks like. We do have a slightly longer pin and a C-clasp there. But isn't she gorgeous? I love hand-painted brooches. I've been looking to collect more of them, more of these portrait ones. There's some that are just so beautifully done. I absolutely love them. So this was really exciting to find. I don't know, it might be gold filled. It's not marked anywhere. Maybe it's just gold tone. I'm not sure, but I love this, and we'll try to find a stone to replace that top piece. Although with it open, you could almost wear it as a pendant with that little hole at the top. So I guess it depends on how you want to wear this piece, but really beautiful. Next we have this one with this really large yellow citrine colored stone. I think it's glass. You can see we have some scratches on the front there. Some little pearls on the side in a gold tone metal. Here's what the back looks like. And there is a marking here, but I've been having a hard time reading it. I think it's a manufacturer mark. I even tried looking with my loupe, and it's just the way that this pin is placed. It's really hard. I think it says something in Co. Maybe this says gold filled. I'm not sure. I cannot make it out. But really beautiful little pin here. And I don't think it's gold. As you can see, there's wear to the pin and the catch. So I really don't see this piece being gold, although I questioned it at first. Yeah, I still cannot make out what that marking says. Not sure, but beautiful. And then this piece, I think, is not glass. So this is absolutely gorgeous. Here we have marcasite set into a sterling silver setting. The pin certainly looks like it has been resoldered or replaced, but I believe that this is a citrine stone. It's really, really cold to the touch, beautifully faceted. We have those older style marcasites, and I think there are a few missing. I'm looking, maybe not. I thought that there were. Maybe there's not any missing, which that's fabulous. Yeah, I think they're all there. Now that I'm looking at it again, gorgeous. This is so beautiful. Something I didn't notice in the photos, and so stunning. We'll have to test the metal for sure, but absolutely love this. How beautiful. Next is this tiny little brooch with a beautiful square faceted red stone in the center. And here's what the back of this looks like. Certainly needs to be cleaned. I'm not sure what metal this is. This is so dirty, and this might even be gold. I'm not sure. I think the stone in the center is just glass. This might be a gold-filled piece as well that just has worn and needs to be cleaned. I thought that there was a marking on the catch here, but it does say something. It almost looks like it says CT. Maybe this is a really low carat gold, possibly, but really beautiful, beautiful little pin. Then next we have this gorgeous, I believe this is satin glass or like a swirled blue, very beautiful light blue swirled glass that has a little bit of iridescence to it, which I believe is called satin glass. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Here's what the back looks like, and I didn't see this marking until just now, and I believe that says Czechoslovakia, but upside down, so it does, Czechoslovakia. So this is a Czechoslovakian glass, Bohemian glass brooch in beautiful blue color with our gold tone setting. Gorgeous. I have been collecting glass more and more recently, so this is going into my Czech Bohemian glass collection. But you see how far that pin extends beyond our brooch here. So this is an older one, I think. Beautiful. Look at this. This is so Art Nouveau. Beautiful, like brass gold tone metal with our citrine colored center stone. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Here's what the back of this one looks like. Again, not sure if this is a genuine stone or glass, but it is so beautiful. I absolutely love this brooch. That's stunning. And I'm going to show you this next piece as well because I think it's of the same era. So beautiful. So I think this is technically a sash pin. I think that's what these larger pieces are called. And here is the hinge and clasp on this one. So kind of a similar construction with a similar citrine colored stone. Oh, it's so beautiful. This really beautiful, like chased or etched filigree. Oh, and I just noticed that there's a face there, sort of a king or a green man. I'm not sure. Probably a king, right? How interesting. Oh, this is gorgeous. The beautiful fluid lines of these stems of that Art Nouveau style. So beautiful. I'm gonna have to Google Lens this because I don't know, this little king face looks like something. Not sure. I love this. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, and here is a guilloche enamel circle pin. Beautiful enameling. You can tell there's a little bit of damage to it, but I love this type of enamel. I think it's so beautiful and delicate. And this one is marked sterling. It looks like it says La Mode. Not familiar with that maker, but really beautiful. I don't even mind the damage. This will be going into my collection still. Gorgeous. And here is another piece of enamel. So this one has yellowed a bit, and this is something I've seen before with this type of enamel work. It can yellow over time, but beautiful fleur-de-lis with this hand-painted flower at the bottom. This one is a pin, but also someone has soldered on a little bail, so it could be worn as a pendant. That one's pretty. And this one is very interesting. So you see at the top we have this cut glass or cut crystal circle with this leaf or feather design rhinestone element at the bottom. And it is a brooch or pin, so I guess maybe it would be worn this way. It almost looks like a fish skeleton when you turn it to the side. I'm not sure. I've never seen this before. Probably glass and just silver tone metal. Kind of has a deco look to it. Not sure if that's right, but that's my first impression. It's an interesting one. And then this is also so beautiful. This gold tone floral, this beautiful kind of bouquet in the center. Oh, this is so beautiful. Here is what the back of this one looks like. To me, this looks, I don't know, maybe like a gold plated or something. So yeah, not sure of the metal on this one, but this one also has a bit of an Art Nouveau look to it. It's really beautiful, a nice large pin. This one's very big, gorgeous. Okay, and then here we have two spoon brooches, which are very interesting. Let's take a look at this first one. This first one, oh, I think it has a horse or a moose. It has is that a moose? Etched into like the bowl part of the spoon. That one's really interesting. This one's old, so this one has a tube hinge on it and a really old clasp. It does have some markings. So it looks like this was made out of a really old spoon. Somebody repurposed this very old etched spoon some time ago with this beautiful tube hinge into a brooch. And I'm willing to bet that this is sterling. You can see the remnants of some hallmarks at the back there. So I'm quite sure that this is sterling. That one's interesting. I'm gonna have to do some research on that one. And then this spoon, it's a really pretty floral. It's marked Steiff. I was not aware that Steiff made spoon brooches. I'm familiar with their teddy bears and they're really beautiful stuffed animals, but yeah, I don't know if this is the same Steiff company. I'm going to assume so, but I wasn't aware that they made this type of piece. Interesting. Here we have a very dirty celluloid piece. I love the color of this. It's almost like a seafoam green. Definitely needs to be cleaned. It's pretty yucky, but it's a really cool piece. I do have a collection of these really ornate celluloid pieces. I think they're really interesting. So I will clean this one up for sure. And here we have a beautiful gold tone filigree setting with a black stone in the center. This one is also a pin pendant. This one looks a little bit newer to me than some of the other pieces that we were looking at. So not quite sure. You can see some of the gold tone has worn off of the metal here, but still a nice piece. It's got a really pretty aesthetic to it. Okay, and then we have another carved cameo. She is a little dirty as well. Beautiful gold tone setting. Oh, and she's Coro. So I was not expecting that. So this is Coro, definitely meant to look like a Victorian, I guess, Victorian revival type piece. You've got this really sort of heavy gold setting here and these beautiful faux pearls around what feels like an actual carved shell cameo. That's interesting. I'll have to look up this piece if this is a known Coro cameo. I'm so used to seeing their pieces that are done in resin. I've never seen a genuine carved cameo in a Coro brooch before. How interesting. Then here we have two beautiful, what I imagine is gold-filled Victorian brooches. It does look like maybe something broke off of the front of this one. So you see how this has that little piece in the center? I wonder if this had something similar to that. But some beautiful etched like foliage leaf pattern. Yep, both are pin pendants. We've got our tube hinges there. Definitely older, definitely have some dents and have lived a life, have been worn and loved. I love these pieces. Really beautiful. This is interesting. So here we have a little stick pin in the shape of a bird. Oh, that looks like sterling. Usually when you see that patina, oh, there is a marking. Oh gosh, it's gonna be so hard to capture on camera. So I think it says 925 over on this side of the wing, and then there is some type of maker's mark down here. Looks like an R and a few little hallmarks that I'm gonna have to take a closer look at. So this is like a gilt sterling little stick pin in the shape of a bird. Interesting. I'm gonna have to research the hallmark on that one. And here's a piece that looks quite a bit newer than some of the other items we've been looking at least in my opinion, just based on this larger central stone there and that sort of piece, that foil in the back. It's really cool. It's a nice three-dimensional brooch. Here's what the back looks like. It's interesting because it almost has like a faux animal print to the back of that. So that kind of throws me off in terms of dating this piece. Not quite sure. Interesting though. Here's some beautiful glass, meant to look like turquoise, I believe. Beautiful filigree surround. This is certainly not a precious metal. Oh, you can see someone has tried to polish it before in the past. Whenever I see sort of this white powdery stuff on the back of a brooch, that usually means someone tried to polish it up with silver paste at some point in its history. Really pretty though. I love the cabochons on here. There's another really beautiful pin with don't know if this is glass in the center. I think it might be. Beautiful color though, sort of a periwinkle, purpley, light blue color. Oh, this one is marked 830. Interesting. So I'm familiar with 800 silver, and then 925 is the standard for sterling silver, but 830. That's quite interesting. I've never seen that marking before. So it is silver, but just a little bit under sterling and a little higher than that 800 silver that I've seen in the past. Beautiful. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Gorgeous. So here we have some red faceted stones with a center row of marcasite. I do see one missing here, but I think all the others are there. And I'm not, are these garnets? I'm not quite sure. There is a marking here. I think that also says 850 or 830. Beautiful. So I wonder if these are garnet. I have a number of garnet brooches, but I've never seen one with marcasite quite like this. Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I already think that this lot was worth it. I definitely paid up for it, but I just based on these brooches and the Bakelite bracelet alone, I think it's paid for itself in my opinion. So I'm really, really happy with this lot so far. So here is a tiny little, I guess, tie clip maybe. I love the filigree work on the front. I'm not sure what is underneath it though. There's some sort of kind of beige yellowy color material. Not sure, I don't see any markings, so that one's interesting. Okay, and then we have two of these enameled red crosses, I suppose. That's interesting. Oh, that's really interesting. So when you, what is that called? It's not sort of holographic, I guess. So when I lay it back like this, you can see the diamond shapes, and then as I tilt it up, you see the square shapes. That's pretty fun. And this is all done in enamel. How cool. It's like an optical illusion. Okay, let's take a look at the back of these. Oh, there is a marking. Upside down, I think. Sterling. Oh. Well, that's interesting. I'm not sure what the top reads, but I definitely see sterling there down at the bottom. So some sort of gilt sterling. This one's very worn. Little red cross pins with this sort of optical illusion enamel work. That's so interesting. Beautiful. I don't know if these are meant to represent the actual Red Cross, like the organization. I'm gonna have to look those up as well. I have a lot of research to do with this lot, which is exciting. I really love learning about these pieces. That's half the fun of collecting, in my opinion, is learning the history. So here is, I don't know, some sort of glass, I think, or maybe porcelain stone with this gold M initial on it. Here's what the back of this one looks like. Not sure about this one. I think this is glass. How strange. Nice big piece though. It's in pretty good condition. I would expect this gold paint on that letter to be worn off. This is an interesting one. So I definitely see a little bit of verdigris and some things that need to be cleaned up, but you have this beautiful enamel work in the center here. This reminds me of something I've seen before, but of course I'm not able to think of what it is right now, but I feel like I've seen this crest or this symbol here on some other pins in the past. Definitely just like a gold plating that is wearing off. But yeah, I'm gonna Google Lens this as well because I think this is some type of organization and I'm blanking on what it is, but needs to be cleaned up. Okay, and then we're not gonna go through these individually. There's just too much to look at, but a bunch of these really tiny little pins that I have recently learned were for clothing and like nightgowns and things back when those were the fasteners and there weren't zippers and those types of closures on clothing. They used these tiny little pins. So that is what all of these are. I'm gonna have to look through these for metal content. I can see that some of these think that says gold top. So I don't know if that means it's actual gold or I'm not sure, maybe like a plated piece, but just a bunch of these tiny little bar pins and clips. So that was in the lot as well. Okay, so we made it through the brooch tray and we still have 2 trays of items to go. So I think I'm going to split this up into 2 videos. We're almost at a half an hour already. So thank you so much for spending some time with me and going through these items. I think the brooch tray alone, plus that Bakelite, we've made our money back already. So I'm really, really happy with these items. I think there's some outstanding pieces and I can't wait to go through the rest of them with you. So stay tuned, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will have the rest of this haul up for you soon. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.